Hello students, welcome to the 8th class physical science video lessons. Today I am going to teach you or tell you about the introduction to the lesson, our first unit, force. Okay, now in our earlier classes we have learned about some changes which are taking place in our environment or in our surroundings. We have discussed a lot about them. Let us see some of the changes which actually take place around us. Yeah, I want you to take a look at the video. I hope you understand that it is day and night. This happens every day and night. Every day you see a sunrise and the sunset. And secondly, I want to show you a video here, which is actually a video taken in another country. What do you see there? Yeah, the flowers bloomed. Now you can see the leaves all over the trees. And the leaves are getting even bigger and greener. Now you see the leaves get dried and then they're falling off. Yes. Now this video shows that there are seasons always changing. Now I want you to take a look at the pictures here. There are two pictures, but they are of the same place. The first picture here, you can see there is sea at the back. Here also there is sea at the back. But in the front portions, you don't see water everywhere. You see just it's swamp, and then here you see more of the water. It's just because this is the time where it is having low tide, and this is the time where it is having high tide. So these are some changes we see in our daily life. And why do these changes happen? Earlier, actually, long before, people used to think there is some invisible force which is actually making all these changes. And then even today, some people even believe that there is some invisible force actually which is behind these changes, which is behind the day and night, which is behind the change of the seasons, or which is behind these different changes which are happening. But as the days passed by, there was some understanding about the word called force. They developed a little bit of understanding force. They thought effort, strength, power, force, these are all the same. And they tried to understand force, our people or our ancestors, they tried to understand the word force relating to their daily works, like lifting some big bag of rice or something, or pulling something, pushing something falling heavily. So they understood that it was just because of the force. Now in this lesson we will talk about what is force, what are the different types of forces. Now anything which is related to the force we are going to learn in this lesson. Okay, now if we talk about force, let me give you some examples, children. I want you to see this video. Now what do you observe there? I hope you understand it. It is hailstones. In Telugu, we call it Ralla Varsham or Vadagandla Vana. So, something is falling from the sky. It is falling from up to down. Something is pulling those stones, hailstones, downwards. Hailstones don't go up in the sky, they fall down. Okay? And then, I want you to observe this picture. A boy is throwing the newspaper. He's a paper boy, and then he's throwing newspapers into the houses. So sometimes paper boys have to throw their newspapers from to the top of the building also. So they use their force to throw the newspaper. They throw it upward. And then here you see a rickshaw puller pulling the rickshaw. So he uses some force to pull it to the destiny. So in these videos we actually see some things happening. Suppose you have a rubber band. You pull it. What happens to the rubber band? It gets stretched. Rubber band gets stretched. Suppose you have a sponge in your hand, and if you can squeeze it. Can you squeeze a sponge? Yes, we can squeeze a sponge to a smaller ball than its actual size. Now this shows that when force is applied on an object, it is able to change its shape. Is it not? We can twist. Suppose there's a cloth like this over there, and then we can twist this cloth. Is it not? If we are twisting this cloth like that, what's happening? You are seeing a change in the shape of the object. Likewise, we have many more things which are happening like that. When we use some force, we see an object changing its shape or changing its position from one place to another. So in all the examples we have seen, whether it is the hailstone which is falling or a rickshaw puller who is pulling, now we see two kind of things happening there. Either they are pushed or they are pulled. Is it not? Either they are pushed or they are pulled. Sometimes when we open the door, we try to open the door. Okay? If we want to open the door, we have to pull the door towards ourselves. If we have to close the door, we have to push the doors towards that side. So here what we are seeing is some force actions where force is acting over there. We are seeing either it is pulled or pushed. Either it is pulled down or it is pushed upwards. There are many examples like that, and then I want you to work on it. I want you to write 3 examples where we can see force pulling down, actions pulling down. 3 examples where actions they are pushed up, or 3 examples where both the things can happen at the same time. Pulling and pushing can happen. Please think on it and then do your homework today as this. Okay. And then if you see your textbook, your 8th class textbook, physics textbook, you in the second page you will find a table given there. This table shows some pictures. Okay, the first picture is digging a bore well. When they dig a bore well, you drill the machine inside. Is it not? Now, is that pushing or pulling out? It is pushing the machine inside. When we are drilling or digging a well, we push inside. And then next one is sipping juice with a straw. When we sip juice with a straw, what do? We pull the juice into our mouth. So that is an example of pulling. Then the third one is erasing the blackboard. If there is a blackboard over there, you erase it, is it not? So do you pull it or push it? I think we do both. We pull it and then push it back to erase the board. So it can be both, pull and push. And then fourth one is a magnet attracting the nails. If we put a magnet over there and then we put nails around it, what will happen? The magnet attracts the iron nails. Now, is that pulling or pushing? It's pulling, right? And then we'll see fruits falling from the tree. Always fruits fall. I think they fly in the sky, no? Whenever they get detached from the tree. No, fruits always fall down. That means the earth is pulling the fruits. It is pulling. And then hoisting a flag. Our headmaster or our principal sir, on the Independence Day or Republic Day, we see him hoisting the flag. So when we hoist the flag, what does the principal do? He pulls the thread or the rope so that the flag gets up onto its position. So these are different things you have to do in the textbook. If you have your textbooks, you can fill that. Okay. So, seeing all these things, now we can come to a conclusion about force. Now, force is the effort put on an object by means of pushing or pulling. That is force. Okay, force that is exerted on a body. So, what do we say? It is the effort put on an object by pulling or pushing. Those two things are important. Either we pull it or push it. It's front or backwards. It is downward or upward. So, the effort put on an object by pulling or pushing the object can be said as force exerted on the object. Now, this is a small introduction to force. Now, with this, I complete today's lesson. Let me give you a question to write. Now, at your homes, I want you to write down 4 answers to 4 questions. One thing is write examples, give examples where the actions involve pulling. Write 3 examples where the actions involve pushing. Write 3 examples where the actions involve both pulling and pushing. And I want your answers other than the examples given in your textbook. And also write what is force. You write what is force. Okay. And then tomorrow we are going to see what are the different types of forces, and we'll learn in detail about them. Thank you, children. Have a nice day.